sure. Yeah.
So how about you? So I didn't ask you.
Hindu.
Hindu. So you are a Hindu.
Yeah.
Were you born and brought up here, or
No,
were you born?
in the U.S. actually.
So you were so not in India.
Not in India. Not in India.
No, not in the homeland of Hinduism.
Yeah.
No.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So she is Hindu, and would you consider her ideas a bit seriously at all, or no? You have your own.
I'm actually quite curious about it.
Do I consider her ideas seriously? Yeah, absolutely. I take them very seriously.
Sorry, I mean you appreciate what she would say, but
Absolutely.
would you consider them to be true, or?
I wouldn't know. I haven't arrived at any truth yet in my life for any.
So, okay, Edward,
That's correct. Yeah. You
Mega.
can call me Ed.
Ed and Mega.
Yeah.
Correct.
So can I please maybe address both of you together?
Yeah,
If you don't
Yeah,
mind?
absolutely.
And here is my challenge. Yeah. So with Hinduism in mind and with some sort of agnosticism in mind, this is what I would say. In Jesus, we have in human history a verifiable revelation of God. In human history. And that, because I say human history, it makes that sort of experience accessible to people like you, who might not have any bias towards anything, but of course you as a human being would be interested in human history. And also you as a Hindu, Mega, this would also be beneficial. In human history, and I'm saying in regards to you, particularly I'm saying only verifiable revelation of God.
I'm curious. So you're Christian.
I am.
Why are you holding a copy of the Quran?
Oh, because I was having a chat with a Muslim just a few minutes ago.
And he gave you the Quran?
No, this is my
This
Quran.
is your Quran. Have you read it?
I have read portions of it. So
Does your can your faith fit with what's in the Quran or any
No.
other? Okay.
so no, Quran. I don't. So in the Quran, I do not find a valid revelation of God at all. I don't find that.
You said that you have a it's the only verifiable. Can you explain how it's verifiable?
So yeah, the prime example, there are multiple examples. The prime example of all of that is the person of Jesus Christ and his life, especially that of the life, death, burial, resurrection in human history. Just like how I would die, he died. But the way he died was through crucifixion. He was buried. But he was also claimed to have come back alive to be seen by human beings. In the way I see you, people saw Jesus alive on the third day after his death and burial. So if this is true, obviously we are talking about something which doesn't happen every day. And therefore this is supernatural.
Right. But is it verifiable? In
Very
your
good
mind?
point. Oh, my bag is back. So it is verifiable. So that is where, how do we verify this particular aspect of death, burial, resurrection of Jesus Christ? And that is where I go back to history. I said in human history.
Yeah.
In history, we have records. Christian record, which is of course in the Bible, non-Christian Jewish record, non-Christian Roman records, historical records, historians records, and non-Christian Jewish, Greek satirist work. So those kinds of things put together, what we know is that Jesus' crucifixion is a fact of history. His crucifixion is a fact of history. Number two, he died. At the end of the crucifixion, he died, really died. He was buried, and on the third day we also find. So on the third day, the Christian sources say that Christians saw him alive, and the non-Christian sources testify. Some of those, to varying degrees, testify of the fact that they saw. The people who claim that they saw Jesus alive behaved in a manner consistent with them considering resurrection of Jesus to be true. So those are the crucial points. Christian and non-Christian sources to testify of the death by crucifixion. Christian sources to testify of the fact of Christians seeing Jesus alive on the third day and going forward. Non-Christian sources testifying of the fact of Christian behavior consistent with their strong-held conviction that a dead man had come back alive, that the resurrection was true. So those are the three solid points based on which I'm making my assertion that Jesus' resurrection is solid history. Now, we can always get to more a level of more detail and so on here. If I could throw in a few names there, I haven't got my book nearby, I don't know where it is gone, but I can read also. But if throw in a few names, of course, when I say Christian sources, I'm talking about the books which are in the Bible: Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Peter, Paul, Jude, and James, and so on. I'm talking about these characters who have contributed to the Bible. When I talk about non-Christian Roman sources, I'm talking about Tacitus, who is a first century Roman historian, very highly qualified historian. We know his works are, in terms of quality, very, very good. Tacitus, similarly Suetonius, Pliny the Younger. These are the Roman sources from which we gather the information, the 3 points I mentioned earlier. And outside of, and then Jewish source, we have the Babylonian Talmud, which is a rabbinic Judaism source, and then Josephus, who is a Jewish historian, first century Jewish historian. So those two Jewish sources. Greek source, the satirism, how do you pronounce it? Anyway, satire, someone writes satire. Satire. Anyway, so is Lucian of Samosata. So he wrote a fictional story, satire, based on a real life character who actually showed up in Israel. So based on him, a real character, but around him a fictional story is what he wrote, and from there we understand the behavior of Christians in person. So these are the sources I'm using. I'm basing my points on.
I heard you talking about Yahweh earlier.
Yes.
Why do you refer to God as Yahweh?
Because I don't know if you're familiar with the fact that in the Old Testament God's name is Yahweh.
Right, but I thought you were New Testament Christian. Because you're talking about Jesus being the only verifiable.
Yes. So the Christian theology is that we believe both in the Old and the New Testament.
Right.
Both. Christian theology, but when I say Christian, by the way, the term Christ comes from is the anglicized version of the Greek term Christos, which is a translation of the Hebrew term Messiah. The term Messiah, which is the term Christian, Christ, that actually comes from the Hebrew sources, the Hebrew scriptures, the Old Testament, where God and Yahweh had told the Jews through the Tanakh that He Himself would come down to deliver people. And His role when He comes down is the Messiah. So that's the kind of prophecies we find about the Messiah who would later come in, and that is who Jesus is. So in other words, Jesus is not separate, can't be separated from Hebrew sources, Hebrew scriptures. So that's why Jesus is, as per detailed understanding of the Hebrew sources, Jesus is Yahweh. Yeah.
Arul, thank you so much for your time.
Good to see you, Ed.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. So yeah, I mean, interesting chatting with these people also there, and God strengthening again. It'll be good to see how some of these people would respond to the message that they have heard today. Ed and Mega, I think I'd be very keen to see how they take this on board. I'd really like to. Unfortunately, the conversation was wrapped up sort of abruptly there, but I would have liked them to. I would have liked to commend to them to consider the points I've raised seriously and to pursue the validity of those points. So yeah, such conversations are very useful. And thank you very much. God's blessings. Bye.